Dennis, family history, city history, whether it's genealogy or whatever. This is fantastic, and to think about it being bound in a book is amazing.
That's what we do. You know, Watkins Printing has been around for a lot of years, and we produce brochures and business cards, all those fun things. But I think I take the most delight in the books that we actually print for people.
Well, everybody has a story to tell. We all want it to stay in the family forever. And in fact, we just had an uncle of mine sent me some family history that my sisters and we're all going crazy. It's fun, but it's on little flimsy paper that's going to get lost. I think this is a great idea to keep it intact.
Right. You know, these kind of books, this was one that was done by a group out of Mendon on a trek that they took.
The hand cart trek. We all are involved in this, and what a great way to preserve that memory. And this is just so cute because I'm taking it, it's her, the father and the son.
Yeah, this is a fun little story that was put together, and the lady wanted us to help her print it, and we did, and it's a marvelous book. I got to share with you this story. So this young lady comes in, and she talks to me about an experience she had almost, 40 years ago with her son who was dying from cancer. Really a sad story. But she had written a book about the experience. She had drawings that the young man had done, and of course his picture, and she'd put this together, and she was visiting Cache Valley, or is visiting Cache Valley right now, and had a desire to print this book. So she came to talk to me. She had seen a couple of the books that we had printed, and she said, "Can you help me?" Well, of course we could. So we took her files that she had, and she'd prepared them in a Word file, so it wasn't really fancy. But she wanted it to look a certain way. She wanted to have a cover with art that was based on the drawing that had been done of her son. So we have our own house artist. They took that drawing and they added color to it. They kind of made it a little fancier and made this marvelous cover for this book. Then we took the text, we rearranged it, put it in chapter forms, added numbers and some art on the pages, and produced this book. So she comes in and she's going to have this little show and tell with some of her friends. And she said, "Is there any way we could get one of the books ready?" So we did. We prepared one book immediately for her, and she was able to show the book to her friends. But the part that was delightful is I saw her walking out holding her first copy of her book. She was smiling, and it looked like a little child on Christmas morning.
You know, just hearing the story actually makes the tears well up because I can feel that joy that you helped bring to her family.
You know, and that's a book that she's put a lot of effort into. It's a labor of love. It's a very sentimental kind of experience. And now that's recorded for her, and we are in the process of binding the rest of her books. Actually today they'll be completed. Those kinds of events need to be recorded for our posterity. And so as a printing shop, to be part of that is a big deal.
Absolutely. And so there's a real personal story, and then that's on the personal family, and yet you'll do histories of, in fact, let's show some of these that you even got here in the case, and then you brought some out, huge history books.
We've done a number of books. Just for example, Providence has 3 different books on their history, 2 of which we printed. The most recent was just 2 years ago. Previously was done in, I think, 1976. We have Windows of Wellsville. We've done the history of Logan through Kenneth Godfrey's new book, which I have a copy of that we're still producing and selling. Mm-hmm. So this is a marvelous book.
We live in Providence, and we've bought those because you do want to have that history. And even though I don't live in Logan City, I have this book because you want to have these kinds of things.
We're all connected.
Yeah.
It's part of the Cache Valley history.
Exactly.
And then other communities, the Grace community, that's not that far away. We printed their history. This is another fun book. Most of us aren't even aware of Samaria, but the little town just the other side of the mountain. This book was published last year. This is a great history of that community also.
So someone from Samaria brings you the information, and then you help compile it?
That's it. We gave them the expertise they needed to put it in printed form and produce the book, and now they're selling these copies of this history so that everybody in town has a copy of it. Another one that I have to show, maybe we can set those over there. Now, Cokeville, Wyoming, we're familiar with that community. A lady who had collected a lot of history on that town decided that it was ready to print the book. And she had heard about Watkins Printing, and so she came to visit. And she said, I want to produce it, but I don't have a lot of money. How can I do this economically? But we want some that would be kind of collector's versions. So what we did, we created a cover based on what she wanted us to do, and this is the softbound version, but we also did a hardbound version. So she now has, and she's selling these. For those who can't quite afford it, she has the paper version, and she also has the hardbound version. So here's the history of that little community, not too far from us, all prepared in a very affordable fashion for her to sell and for us to buy.
I absolutely love it. So whether you're doing family history or city history or even corporate history, I could see this going off with the corporate area as well.
Yeah, we've done a couple of corporate books. One of the credit unions over the mountain in Salt Lake, we produced their corporate history. And it was all done with color and just a gorgeous book.
Well, that's the thing. You're going to make it easy for us. We're going to have choices. It's not just a set template format that I have to follow. You're going to make it what I want.
That's our role, is to help you produce the book, make it look its very best, and also affordable.
Well, we all have a story to tell, like we said. So right here at Watkins Printing, get your story bound and for the generations. Thank you so much, Ben.